gamekeeping has been asked to change, not just to change, we're actually being kind of strangled. You know, I think there's a bit of that. We've been asked to make changes, unreasonable changes.
Yeah, jump through hoops.
Jump through hoops, which I think it's no good for a lot of things. It's certainly no good for conservation, and it's no good for the job that we do.
I've never been scared of change. You know, you get this sort of I-bean culture where I've always done that, I can't change. To me, that's all the bollocks.
You need to adapt.
Yeah. You've got to adapt, and you've got to, and the people that are coming in now, in 10 years' time, will have to adapt to different things than what we have to change. We've had to change our life a lot in the last, just technology.
Not in the last 5 years.
Even in the last 5 years.
The changes that we are possibly maybe seeing in the near future within the Cairngorm National Park, basically an end to driven grouse, deer numbers reduced down to a very, very low level. Do you think estates can live with that?
Another question, can they enforce that? Can they go on to such and such land and enforce that?
That would be an interesting thing to find out. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, because ultimately, for all this is their plan and this is what they want to achieve, they don't own the land.
Exactly.
Right? And this is where we're saying this is where we need to stand up, landowners, the guys above us have to turn around and say, here, this is my land. You're not doing this to my land. Like, hey, why are we as an industry turning around and saying this? This isn't going to work. This isn't making sense. So no, it's not happening. Like, why can we not do that?
This national park was made because of the management that had been going on for hundreds of years. These people have come in, and it's change for the sake of change. We hear, oh, there's always got to be change. Oh, why would you change something that's working? This new habitat cannot hold all the red listed species plus mountain hare that we produce for nothing.
You have to constantly adapt as industry goes along, and why would you turn around and think, is it finished? Because if you thought that, you'd as well pack it up and quit soon.
The industry sat at a certain level up until about maybe 20 years ago, where you could, when the first regulations came in about snares and stuff like that, then training and vicarious liability and everything. So everything's changed quite rapidly in about 15 years. Yeah. Would it be 15 years maybe? So there has been a big change from about, say, 15, 20 years ago till now.
Yeah, definitely.
And there might be even a more rapid change. You just never know what's going to happen from now on.
The only thing I would say, and I keep saying this to the youngsters that are coming into the industry, say a 16, 17, 18-year-old guy comes in. A 16, 17, 18-year-old guy comes in, doesn't know any different from what was in the past. So his thoughts, his ambition, he should be, that's me starting, this is my life and this is what I'm going to do. So forget about what folk are talking about in the past, because the past is behind you. You've got to look in front, and if you're starting at 16-year-old, what happened 2 years ago is irrelevant.
It's pretty damn sad that the normal rural worker is having to go out and justify what he's doing against civil servants that have never produced a thing in their life. Their wages, pension, everything, it'll no stop. They take away that type of life. All the kids that you see that live in the glens now it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting that. Oh no. Just annoyed.
Words fail us. I feel incensed. The way things have gone. I think it's so unfair. It's unjust.
And I think we're sitting right in the tip of the next change, coming back to where we were before, because for a long time there, the experienced people who were the people on the land, whatever job that they'd done, they got overtaken by a lot of people who would shout louder from different platforms. and they got listened to for a little while. And I personally think we're back at actually where reality sits. Look at Muirburn, it's coming back into place. Look at predation on Capercaillie, it was completely bombed out for a while, and now, and lots of guys around this table told everybody exactly where the truth lay, why there was no Capercaillie, why they were declining. It was predation. They got overruled by a louder voice, and now it's coming back to the reality of it all. And I think we will start slowly to creep back in, that if we want to keep Capercaillie and what have you in Scotland, that the reality of predator control is coming is at the fore now. Some of us around this table have known it's been at the fore the whole time. It's got shied away by louder voices.
The changes in Moorland, Burning, it's totally changed now to what it was. There was very little pressure when I started. You just went out and burnt heather. You didn't have to phone the fire brigade in the morning and tell them where you're going to be burning, when you were going to be finished. And there was no pressure on where you burnt. Whereas today you've got to jump through hoops now in the morning before you set off. That's been one big change that I've seen. So no, I don't envy the young keepers at all, to be quite honest. I quite enjoyed burning and all that in my time, but I don't think I could go with it now. No.
As an industry, you know, the guys on the ground can't be the guys that's constantly pushing it. There has to be others that are pushing it for the guys on the ground. We've got our job's managing the ground within it. But where we're getting attacks now is from obviously higher up, it's the government level and bits and pieces. That's where our industry needs to smarten up the game. We're getting there, we're getting the data, we're getting everything pushing forward. We just need to get that in the right place.
It's a good thing that we're gathering this data because we've got nothing to hide. It is what it is. You know, the population of the birds on the ground, from game to waders.
Obviously there's big changes ahead, and as to be expected or anything, it's changed over the last 15-20 years, so yeah, there'll be a future, and we just hope the government and every other body starts listening to us, because we do know what we're talking about.
There's a lot of memories.
Well, the amount of people that come to the countryside to see what's out there, the amount of waders and all the rest of it.
I've just lived the dream all my working life, and I continue to do so. I'm still working.